minutes as written for our date. Is that August 6th?
Yes.
Meeting from August 6th.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor? Right. Let's get to go with public comment. Does anyone have any comments on the transfer stations?
We'll have to ask again at the end.
Yeah, we'll ask again.
Yeah.
So financial update, looks like $28,659 was withdrawn from the account to cover overages in fiscal year 2023-2024. Current shares of account funds, Buckfield $67,207.45. Sumner is $36,188.63, and Swap Shop is $1,371.40. Scrap iron revenue year to date 24-25 is $5,552.81. I'm sorry, $5,952.81. Cardboard revenue is $1,119.25. Interest earned year to date is $1,651.94. So everybody got their new transfer stickers? I keep going through without mine on, so I'm here to tell you they do check. I was there when Pam was there, and everybody was checking the stickers. So they are checking stickers. So get your sticker. Does everybody have it in the right location? Ideally, it would be the driver's side, left-hand side, bottom corner. Yes, sir.
3 years ago when we moved in, we were given 2 stickers. Are those still good?
No.
Okay.
No,
And then,
come
so
get it.
where do we gotta go to get new stickers?
Right.
And then, where do they go? Because I was
We
told
have a
when I got
sign.
here that you can just put them wherever.
Here, I'll give you a sticker.
Left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner of your driver's. They're hoping to see him when they drive in. Mine was in my back window and then smashed the back window out, so that's when my original sticker went, and I just never got a new one, so.
Is that an annual, renewal or just one-time purchase?
No, they've run the same color for like 30 years, so we opted to change the color, to get everybody up to speed, and that way we'll hopefully limit people that are dumping trash from out of town. Yeah, so that was the thought behind it. I didn't read anything about the security cameras. Are they set up now?
Yes, so Cam has updated the security system because they did have a recent break-in over there. And he has internet access to those.
He can access them.
Yep.
Yeah, the day I was there, they were looking to where they were going to put them and the internet access. They should get a hotspot there or whatever. I talked to him that day about the gutters, but I didn't see any up yet.
So he's getting a quote for installation on those. So down, where you pull under that cap roof and it rains on your car and it's all wet. So they talked about putting some gutters in to try to keep the ice out of the winter. I'm not sure what the plan is there for, runoff.
Yeah, when we met that day, it's really not going to change that same amount of water goes there anyways.
Right.
It's going to be coming out of one pipe.
Yeah, there's nowhere for it to go.
No, there really isn't. So one of the topics of discussion last time was mattresses. All of a sudden started costing us $25 a mattress. So when they dump the can out, they count the mattresses and add it on. So at the point of the meeting, it had already cost us, $700 or $800 at that point. So we decided we would just monitor it and see if it becomes a problem, if we had to start charging people to get rid of mattresses or not. So year to date right now, we're at a total cost of $925 to get rid of mattresses so far. It was looking like we could easily go a couple, $2 or $3 grand, which would set our budget off. So one of the topics was everybody likes that we don't have to pay to get rid of anything at the transfer station. But for whatever reason, it just started that they dump the cans out, they count the mattresses. Doesn't apply to couches or any of that other stuff, just mattresses. So we were contemplating if it was gonna have to be something we'd have to, charge people to get rid of in the future.
Do we know why? Mattresses are more than sofas?
I don't have an answer to that.
They don't handle the mattresses themselves, they're not capable of getting rid of them at, their location, so they actually subcontract out to another, entity in Auburn that takes care of the mattresses, and they charge them the $25, so they're passing it along.
We also discussed tires, didn't we?
Yeah, where were we at with tires?
I'm not sure what were they charging for the tires? I don't-
4 a year, you could give it a 4 a year, I think.
Right.
Yes, that's what we discussed.
Yeah.
What was that longer?
What's that?
Scout's honor?
When you register your vehicle, you would get a ticket that would give you a free disposal of 4 tires. You turn in that ticket when you dispose of those 4 tires, and the next time you show up the tires, you either have your next year ticket or you have to pay for your tire disposal.
Is that Sumner as well?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we.
It's not-
I've
it's not
never,
currently-
I've registered my
Oh, they
car
decide.
every single year, not.
It's not currently.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
the
one of the
discussion.
discussion points of how to help, since that was one of the big costs. Yeah.
That meeting you went to, Bill, what was it, $5 a tire?
Yes, I believe that's what it was. And
So
we decided not to, put a penalty on getting rid of tires there, but there is the limit of, I think 2 tires or 3 tires per.
So per day that it's open, you got Wednesdays and Saturdays, you can bring 2 tires, but it is costing us $5 per tire when it comes time to empty that dumpster. So,
We'll come back to open session again with the,
You just have tires, you're just talking about tires.
yes.
Yeah. You're gonna have an open section?
Well, when we went to open up open session earlier, there were no comments, so we said we'd
That's
open it up again
on the,
at the end.
on the dump, on the dump.
Yes, yeah, so. We should be getting there shortly.
you guys have any other issues that you saw that you need to discuss?
Cameron talked about, the swap shop parking and brush pile, asking people to, keep away from brush piles so they can.
Actually use it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually access that, cause it's, you see where it is, and people park there, and they try to get rid of brush, and sometimes backing trailers in, and we won't have incidents. And then the disposal guidelines are in here, I believe everybody will get them, I think it's, yeah. It's that, this particular page. But I haven't heard of anything unusual, but it can't get mentioned anything here, so.
I believe we discussed at either last meeting or the meeting before an issue of just congestion in the swap shop. It's a popular place when it's open. And right now there is only one point that people can enter and exit from. So we discussed the idea of adding a door to the other end of it, just because in those storage containers, I mean, God forbid, but if there ever was like a fire or something, or just for people to relieve the congestion that happens in there, making it so that you enter at one point and exit from a second point, just to kind of relieve that. It can get pretty hectic in there at the right time of day.
One last thing I think I remember us talking about as well was the potential of putting up some kind of a sign with the guidelines
mercy of whichever attendant is there at that moment, who may or may not be familiar with all the rules, so, yeah.
I guess my question would be, do we wanna discuss that again next meeting, or do we wanna decide we're gonna spend a little bit of our budget to make a readable one that you can see on internet?
Yeah, if we wanna, get some quotes, what we got on there.
Yeah, I think we just get that ball rolling.
Yeah.
See why not.
Okay. I'll make it, I don't think we need to make a motion on that, it sounds like we're all in agreement,
Mhm.
it was,
Get some
yeah.
quotes.
Guess that's key.
I don't feel like the, mattresses need addressing currently.
No.
Does anyone else?
I think we were just gonna track it.
Yeah.
We'll look at it and see. We did, go over last year by 28,600, not just for this mattress, but a variety of things, so, just get an idea of where that's, how that's running, and see if we have to go that route, but
Yeah.
hopefully not.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Keep it reasonable.
Yeah, so anything, that can go in the compacting dumpster, like, even though it might look like bulky waste, anything that goes into that dumpster, we only pay, I think, $40 a ton to get rid of. And anything that goes into the bulk waste is $140 or $125 a ton to get rid of. So if it can go in the hopper and get crushed, put it in there. Obviously, you're not gonna put, we did have somebody try to like throw a boat in there last time I was out there. That was why Cam was there the day that I was there. There was a big argument about someone trying to throw a boat in the. So if it can go in there and it can get compacted without breaking the compactor or anything like that, it's cheaper for us to go in there. It's by a lot. So if it can go in there, put it in there for sure. I don't see anything else that we need to address. Walter, did you have something you wanted to talk to about the solid waste committee?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Let me take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tire bin was emptied a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed, every time that tire bin is emptied, within 2 or 3 dump days, that thing gets full. I don't know, but we have got to have the best tires between Buckfield and Sumner. One thing about tires is there's a state tax on tires at $1 a piece. We pay, no matter who it is, supposedly no matter who, they get $1 a piece, and that goes into the state fund for, I don't know, for what. And if you buy tires at a dealer, you're paying $3 or $4 a piece to get rid of them. So you pay a dealer, maybe, last time I paid $16 to get rid of my tires. But I can't see putting them in a car, hauling them around for a week or whatever to get rid of them. I was at the dump one day and there was a pickup truck there with a trailer that had a load of tires. I mean, I don't know if he was a dealer that maybe is avoiding,
Sure.
or what the hell, but, something's a better watch on people dumping tires.
Yep. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, no, that kind of is an issue. There's gonna be security surveillance at the dump now, cameras because of the break-in that we had. The other thing is people starting trash routes in neighboring communities and collecting the trash up and bringing it here, and that does happen, and we're trying to monitor it the best that we can, yeah. Because they're dumping it in our dumpster, and we're, us taxpayers are getting rid of people's from Woodstock, Greenwood, all over. So, we try to do the best we can. If you see somebody with a whole load of tires and no one's noticed, I wouldn't be afraid to mention it to somebody at the attendance.
The people at the dump should have noticed it.
Yeah, should, but I mean, it could be busy, things get missed, people pull in, you know, so yeah, if you see something, bring it to an attendant's attention for sure. Yeah, license plate probably help, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, what people are driving, yes,
So I'm here tonight with a few concerns about the swap shop.
okay,
Some of them are my own, and others are, some issues that people have brought to me. My first concern is to follow up with Azalea. If I opened a business and my business was in 2 Connex boxes and I had 20 people in those 2 Connex boxes with one form of egress, I would get in a lot of trouble. I don't know what we need to do to make that an okay place to invite people in, but I think that we need to be following whatever safety rules you would need to follow, and like you said, God forbid something happened, but who would be liable?
I would assume town.
I just, there would be no defense. And I believe that there should be only 8 people, and I've gone to the swap shop several times in the last month. I 1000% support the mission of the swap shop. The swap shop has been a positive piece for my life and my family's life and many other people. I'm in support of the swap shop, but some of the things I'm seeing right now concern me. So I believe it's 8 people, and the fact that I've witnessed well over a dozen people in there at once. We have had issues amongst staff at the swap shop and community members that resulted in the Oxford County Sheriff needing to be called. We have had incidents where the animal control officer had to come in to deal with a disagreement between people over their animals. We have many times had community members go to the town office very upset, taking up a great deal of time from the staff there. Some people being so angry that they're using words to the staff there that the staff don't need. So these kinds of things are not helpful. That's not what I want my tax dollars to be going to, having the Oxford County Sheriff's Department at the
Was
swap
that just an
shop.
altercation between people about something going on there, or was just they had a history?
No, it was a dog, it was 2 dogs.
There have been several
Yeah,
incidents, and
that
I'm
is
not
probably-
going to speak to.
There's not supposed to be dogs there, period. I think there's a sign there saying, no dogs, and these people brought their dogs. And I guess there was an altercation between the dogs, which escalated.
Okay.
It's-
The fact that we have to have public safety officials called in to deal with things, I think is problematic. There are many volunteers there that do such wonderful things, so welcoming, so supportive. But there were other people, perhaps it was me, perhaps they had something personal against me, that could be it, but who made me feel just awful about being there, about dropping things off. I got eye rolls, I got sighs. I felt, I
From
didn't feel.
staff and
More than once. And other people have come to me with these issues as well. It's being advertised, and people are starting to come from out of town. And I 100% want more people to come into our community and see all of the wonderful things we do and all of the wonderful people here. But in the current state, I'm not sure that that's what I want representing the Buckfield Sumner community. And when we look at the whole mission of the swap shop to keep materials out of landfill, I wonder if there are people who are bringing things to the swap shop because they want to share it with other people, but that they wouldn't necessarily bring it to throw it in the dumpster. So they bring it to the swap shop to share it with other people. If other people don't want it, it then goes into the dumpster. And do we have other people who are now coming from other towns to shop at our swap shop who, not knowing, think, oh, I'll bring my lamp, I don't need this lamp, I don't need this, I don't need these clothes, I'll bring them with me when I go to the swap shop. So now we have people from away bringing things to donate to the swap shop for other people to have, but then that material ends
Just
up,
ends up in the dumpster. Yep.
and finally, I've had some people come to me, and this is as my role as a select board member, so people have come to me with issues and concerns. As an example, one person brought unopened camping gear, still packaged, still sealed. Waited a long time, got up there and was told, no, we won't take that. Now this individual looked around, and if you drive by the swap shop right now, I don't know how many people have seen what the swap shop looks like right now on the outside. So this person's standing there looking at all of that and being told that there's hundreds of dollars of camping equipment, brand new, still in the package, no, we can't take it. This person was really frustrated and went and threw it in the compactor. But these kinds of incidents are building goodwill, and this has really become time consuming for staff in the Buckfield town office. For the director of public works, he's called down to deal with things again and again, and he's treated very, very poorly. So I don't know what should be done, can be done. I would want it to become a positive experience for everybody, but again, primarily, I just can't see how we're having all these people in these comics boxes with one egress. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I just have a follow-up question. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Go ahead, and then I'll comment.
I was just wondering if anyone spoke with Don Barry, who is the person who's heading all of that. He would be the point person, right?
I asked him to come this evening, he is currently on vacation.
Okay,
So
so
we will be having a conversation with him
Okay.
about these incidents, once he gets back.
I believe he's aware of.
okay.
So I guess I'll share my feelings and then everyone here can share theirs. The last time we had a meeting here, 6 months ago?
Yep.
To discuss this, we were essentially dealing with some very similar claims and complaints. And the people of the swap shop at that time got forward, we just need leadership. And they put Don's name forward, and we basically handed over the reins to Don. But one of the things I think at least some of us were in agreement about at that point is that if this becomes a liability to our towns and a source of strife and contention, then the easy button in many ways is just to say it's been great, it's been a wonderful thing for the town, but it's too much hassle. So I feel like our two options are either we give the leadership of the swap shop a chance to tighten it up over the next, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably too long to wait if these kind of things are happening, but if if 6 weeks goes by and everything's great, I'd be willing to
Right.
let things ride, but I think option 2 is to just say no more. To me, that's our 2 choices there. I'll keep quiet.
Right.
Share your thoughts.
Right, and also has to be brought up to code in some factors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly.
No, I absolutely agree that the safety issue is something that should be addressed tonight, if not very soon. But I don't think that us taking the easy option is the way to go here. I think that that is a valuable community asset. As Sumner mentioned, it brings people into our community, which is something that not a lot of stuff does these days. But also, even though we do have instances perhaps where someone from out of the town might bring their trash there, ultimately, overall, I believe it is saving the town costs. And it's also a great resource for, people in the community, and there are a lot of them who may be impoverished or low on funds, and they need a resource that they can turn to locally to get things that they might need for their household and their children. I agree that we were hoping that designating some leadership there would, change things in a positive way. But I wasn't under the impression that, we were waving a wand to fix all the issues, and I think that we need to give this a chance where we talk to, perhaps we, call a meeting for any one of the volunteers as well as leadership, can come and speak to us directly, and talk about, where they see the hiccups. We can, it's easier to hash it out in person than for us to sit up here and, kind of take things from a third-person perspective and assume that things are going terribly. I'm sure that there are very positive things happening there too, and I think it just needs some leadership from us and not just from Don Barry. That's my 2 cents.
I just wanted to say that, all these issues are being brought up, not just for the swap shop, but the dump and people abusing it. What if there was a monitor, somebody that the top guy you have to answer to, because the other ones at work, they're busy. So during your busiest times, you put someone in there that is like the dump police. You either show me where you have your sticker, or you're out, or please don't come back anymore. Somebody, so that people are coming in. You could even put up a big sign that says, we have a dump monitor now, you must, and eventually we could maybe stop some of this from happening.
If I required a badge, I might take it over.
We really should have done it in
The transfer constantly.
I feel like it's 2 separate issues. That's just my deal. That's how I look at it. I think the dump attendees need to handle the dump side of things, who's throwing what away, who doesn't have a sticker. And ultimately, this is gonna, fall on us and Dawn for straightening it out, I think, we should definitely be doing something with another way out, for sure, another door. If they put a door on one end, they can certainly put one on the other. So they'll have to find funds for that. And then, an altercation between people and dogs, I don't know how you stop that. You know what I mean? Other than don't bring your dog to the dump if you can't control your dog, and it's not in the car. I don't know how you. You do the best that we could do. I can see that. Trying to. But if people are just being ignorant with themselves or their dogs or whatever, and they're gonna get into a scrap over their dogs at the dump, then I don't know how we'd stop that other than.
Well, unfortunately, that's
Physically
where I was
stopping.
saying. That could have happened at Walmart. That could have happened.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, right? Those
Yeah.
have to be swept up.
Who knows? You could catch 2 guys trying to throw away too many tires apiece, and they get in a fight over it. You know what I mean?
It's just the
So I don't know how we would address that. Do you have an idea?
Not one I'm going to suggest here tonight.
Okay. I have ideas too, but I keep them here.
But for me, part of the question looking at this, and I don't really understand the structure, the folks who work at the transfer station are employees of the town. and that there is a hierarchy and there are rules, and that the swap shop is, as it's been explained to me, it is not an entity of the town of Sumner or the town of Buckfield. And so ultimately, who is responsible or who should be monitoring it, and I think it's, and perhaps the way to go is for the folks involved in the swap shop to start their own nonprofit and become their own organization, and perhaps they lease some space. And there are different ways to separate it, but part of it right now is it is not being run by town employees. But most people would think that the swap shop is part of the transfer station. So that
that's
may be-
kind of where the conversation came out. If it became a real problem, that we would have to shut it down because it's not a town entity, but it is on town property.
Right.
So that's where that conversation came in a few meetings back. I don't remember how far back. When we were dealing with all the issues of, you know, leadership change and, you know, the Wednesday people upset with the Saturday people and all that, and we felt like we had that pretty well hashed out when Dawn took that leadership role. But the caveat was, if it becomes a real problem, we would have to shut it down because it ultimately is a liability to our towns.
I know that he has put in so much time.
Sure.
And we've had several conversations. In all evidence I've seen, is dedicated to this and passionate about this and supportive of everyone and wants this to happen,
Yeah.
but as a volunteer,
Right.
I don't think he's able to be there in every moment that things are going on
Right.
at
Right.
the swap shop, and
I'd be willing to support your idea of bringing the entire swap shop staff in and just say, hey, this is the letter of the law here, and either you can get on board or maybe you should go volunteer somewhere else. I'm willing to do that.
I think in light of that aspect that the residents also have responsibility to know the rules, and maybe there aren't, maybe it's been a while since we kind of put it out publicly, you know, what the swap shop has been, what the rules are, rules for use by the.
We redid the guidelines last fall.
Did we promulgate them, did they get on the website, did they,
I don't know.
and we have them posted at the swap shop?
A sign would be the best thing to put right where they park,
Yeah.
so they can't, like, they're parked right in front of it, they pull right up to it moving.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, we should have at least a sign with like basic rules on it, right outside where it's visible, and then a copy of the rules in their entirety on hand at the swap shop, so that volunteers can refer to it if they need to.
And I think your idea of getting them together for them to understand that if things don't get better, then the consequences are what they don't want to have happen, which would be to lose this asset. Because I agree, it's a really good asset to the town. You know, and that, whatever it takes to get it for them to realize that there are consequences to not getting better.
You make a good point though, if they did become a nonprofit and they did lease the space and we required them to have insurance, then that would take the liability off from the towns, I would assume, if we do have to go to that stream, I guess.
They'd probably be more eligible for grants and
Right.
as well. Like
Yeah.
they could apply on their own and have some better access, because I know we were looking at putting a heat pump in there.
Well, I think we were just talking about putting a heat pump in
In
for
the-
the station attendants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
not in the
were,
swap.
and we didn't make any formal motion, we just discussed, since we're both part of the community resilience grant project, we discussed if both of our towns receive an additional round of funding, then we would agree to allocate some heat pump money, but I believe it was just for the attendance station, not for the swap shop.
I
I think that, back, it was a year ago, when we was meeting on that, it was here, and there were a lot of issues associated with the swap shop that were brought up at that point, and I think that it was determined that the select boards are not gonna be policing the swap shop. This is something that they need to do, they need to get a handle on, and, I'm all for the swap shop, and I think it's been great for our communities, but, if they can't somehow pull it together, then I don't see what we do, I don't see how we can continue with it.
Not to out your sources, but are these fairly recent events, or has this just been a culmination over the last 6 months, or would you say it's more the last 3 months, or the entire year?
My experience, I made sure to go several times,
To make sure.
several different times to see, to experience what other people were telling me that they were experiencing. So that would be over the last 4 weeks. Over the last few months, there have been altercations, that I don't think needed to escalate to where they did.
Is that just with the swap shop, or is that with the entire transfer station? I was in the last Saturday and there was an altercation between two people, and I said, what is going on with those guys? And they said, this happens all the time.
There is a great deal of bad behavior
Yes,
at the
yes.
transfer station.
Right.
And that's a whole other piece, but
All right.
that, I think,
You're just
because
talking swap shop.
Yeah, okay.
right, because there's the piece that you have town employees and
Right.
there's a structure for that, and I agree that perhaps a conversation needs to be looked at for the future of, do we need to hire someone else? Do we need an attendant there? Because the way the way the employees of the transfer station are treated, we're lucky that they're still, we're lucky they're still there.
I agree.
Because they are yelled at and defamed on a regular basis. But because they're two separate entities.
Yeah.
Right. Everything you're referring to was swap shop related prior to that conversation.
Correct,
All the altercations,
concerns that-
the concerns that you brought were swap shop related, not.
right, and ultimately, the goal would be to find a solution to this, but, it seems as though we need to do something differently, because the same conversation happened 6 months ago, and, so, I hope we can find something as a community
too.
that will work.
I'm not sure quite how to phrase this, but is there like a disciplinary system at the transfer station? Like, can we revoke someone's sticker if they escalate and raise their voice?
Serialize the stickers,
Mhm.
and you could certainly do that.
Yeah.
But do we have, to my knowledge, no, do we have any way for are we guiding the employees to take down their serial number? And I think that if this is such a normal occurrence that our employees are, being berated by the people of the town, there needs to be some sort of disciplinary action where, there are plenty of places that they can still take their garbage and they'll just have to pay for it instead of the taxpayers. But I don't think it's fair that people can, come in and berate our town employees just because they feel entitled as a taxpayer to the transfer station.
And I don't wanna suggest that it's the majority of course.
Right.
It's a few. It just
As
happens
always.
frequently, right?
Right.
I think that perhaps we should explore that. I can do some homework, see if there are any, transfer stations in the area who have a similar sort of system, and maybe we should set our next meeting for in 3 months, and we can check in on both the swap shop and also what we can do as far as disciplinary action.
I agree with the, doing the homework on the disciplinary action on the transfer station side of things. I kinda feel like, waiting 3 months to address stuff with the swap shop might be.
I'm definitely down to leave sooner on that front.
What do you guys?
I'm up for an earlier meeting in a few weeks, maybe we can talk with Dawn and whatever individually or however it works out. I'm also up for saying that it's decided he needs to have a sign out with rules and either limit the number of people that can be in that swap shop until we address the egress, or tell him that he's gonna have to get another door put in as soon as possible between now and any next meetings. So I'm up for either one of those. If they limit it, then it would take care of the not adding the door right this minute. I don't know what they have for funds available. Actually, yes I do. Yes I do. Didn't we just talk about it?
They have $1,371.
That's right. I do know how much they have. It's right there. It's like, wait a minute, I read that. So they have $1,371. They could, I'm assuming, get a door put in there.
Who is
that.
responsible for the staff? Is it Public Works Director at Buckfield, or for the,
At the
at the
dump.
transfer station?
Or,
Who's the, who's the supervisor?
Public Works Director, the overseer, yeah.
So, if these guys are, they're clearly the recipients of this inappropriate behavior, have they been asked to make note of the situation so that their supervisor knows that they're getting hassled every week, twice a week?
Has that happened yet?
He's aware of these incidents.
Yeah.
Right, but the documentation of it, I guess, is my thing, it would say,
That's right.
you know, if it's happens once a month, well, okay, if it happens every week, then that's more, if it happens 4 or 5 times a week, then I think it says to whoever's supervising, you got more of the deal that you're gonna have to do something about, not just kind of, oh well.
Right, if it's been normalized up to this point.
Right.
Yeah. So the day I was there, that's the whole reason Cam was there and the Public Works guys were both there. They got called down there because the guy was told he can't throw a boat into the bulk waste, and he felt that he should be able to throw his boat into the bulk waste. So there was an altercation about that. That was why Cam got called down there, and while he was down there, they decided to look at the cameras and stuff. That was the day that I was there. So I would assume that that's how the chain of command works, because Public Works were both there, and Cameron was there, so. Yeah, documentation.
Okay, so, should we break this into action items? So I guess my first proposal or motion would be that, we direct the swap shop within the next, should we give them 2 weeks to have their, how about a week, to have their rules posted?
Or 2 weeks and have it at the next meeting, next select board meeting, prior to the meeting, we could set it up and have it. Just
I would
prior to the,
suggest maybe too, because Don's on vacation right now, so I don't know how long it's gonna be until he gets back, so it might take him a little bit longer, since he's not
Fair enough.
readily available.
And I mean, we normally meet on like a once every 6 month basis. I feel like we can give them, a month. I don't see why it needs to be. I understand that, there are ongoing issues, but they also have been ongoing since our last meeting, so. I feel like 2 weeks might be an ambitious timeline. Maybe we just reconvene in a month.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
can we set that date now, or?
Yeah, in Buckfield, not our next select election day and have it be a little under a month, or we can meet on the 19th and have it be a little over.
How about the 19th?
Sounds good to me. November 19th.
Alright, I think that's unanimous.
Our select board meeting will start at 6:30. Do we wanna allot an hour before the meeting for our solid waste committee meeting? So schedule it for 5:30 on the 19th.
Works for me.
Alright. I'll make a motion that we schedule our next solid waste committee meeting for November the 19th at 5:30 PM to discuss changes to the swap shop and transfer station disciplinary actions.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Were there more action items that you wanted before that meeting?
The door.
Probably not, that's the reason for establishment.
Either the door or we're gonna,
I
I think we could do, sorry to cut you off, limit the number of people that can be in there until we address the door.
agreed.
And put a sign on the door, we could do that. Tomorrow, yeah, it could be done tomorrow, not that difficult, you know, so, I mean, I don't know who's running the swap shop while Dawn's away, but who he's put in charge.
We can certainly track them down.
And what should we limit the number of people to?
I think it's supposed to, as Sumner said, I think it's supposed to be 8 in that space, so.
Including attendance, like the people working there.
So that would mean 6.
Yeah.
6 community members, because there's always 2 people inside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who's responsible for enforcing them?
The
Whoever's
attendance.
running the
Swap
shop.
Do we know
Will.
why they haven't been able to enforce it at this?
Well, we're gonna have to get to the bottom of that.
Okay, I didn't know if there was an issue that's making it so they can't enforce it.
It's state law, right?
Yes.
You're quoting a number,
Yeah.
and then there's somewhere somebody's quoted it.
Yeah,
for
square
statute,
footage,
so
yeah.
Square footage, so,
I can stop by tomorrow when they open and talk to them about that issue.
Okay. So we might hear from some disgruntled people tomorrow about the swap shop, only limiting 6 people in there at a time.
Facebook, get ready.
all for it. It's for safety.
I think that's all we have to take a motion on, right? All right, does anyone have anything else that we need to discuss about the swap shop or not?
Yeah, like I said before, the state has a $1 tax on tires.
Yep.
Is there any way we can take account on the tires that are dropped off at the recycling center? Get a count and apply to the state for that dollar per tire?
I have no idea, Walter. I would assume we could find out how many tires we do in a fiscal year because we're charged per tire.
That is a lot, I know, I've never wanted to calculate on tires.
Yeah, I'm guessing Cam would have that figure from last year at least, the total
You
number of
know, I know
tires.
there's tonnage wise they have it, yeah, but not the number of tires, you know. There's all kinds of different size tires from 20 pounds, 50,
Sure.
60 pounds and higher.
Yeah.
But individual tires, the number of, if a person comes in with 2 tires, okay, it's marked down 2 tires, or 4 tires, keep a count on them and see if it's, hey, we've been doing this, can we get that money back?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a matter of also, we're providing a service to the townspeople to have access to get rid of their tires, and we've been covering that for years. That would be a change in policy as far as how we operate the swap shop when it comes to tires or mattresses or whatever, we can, I don't think that we can at this point, start charging people. I may be, not be in the majority on that opinion, but, I think that's for
If
further
that
down
charging
the road.
people is gonna be dumped on me.
They're gonna be on the roads, they're gonna be,
They stop a truck from coming in with a load of tires.
yeah, we discussed that.
Yep. You have a question, Jonathan? Or comment?
I got something for,
The select board meeting?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Do you have anything else to discuss? Anything further? All right, I make a motion to adjourn the solid waste committee meeting at 6:51 PM.
Second?
All in favor?